Ole Cantos from Alexandria, Virginia, had this question. In thinking to grow rich, how do we remove the mental blocks that hold us back? To clarify, we may each know intellectually how we can succeed. Many of us even take consistent action. But what is that extra something that differentiates between those who make it and those who do not?
Napoleon Hill spent a lot of time with autosuggestion. I taught this material 12 times at the University of Virginia. Some of those kids are very smart. I read a book by a guy by the last name of Helmsettler. He wrote a book, What Do You Say When You Talk to Yourself? Now, you could get up one morning and put on a nice suit and all, and someone could say, Glenn, you don't look good in that suit. And you could say, well, I guess he's right. Or you could say, man, this thing is custom made. You've never worn nothing compared to this, and I think I look fine. So conversations we have with ourselves where we tell us, as Henry Ford said, if we think we can or we think we can't, we're right in either case. So we got to do that, and I think the auto-suggestion is great. I mean, you know, it has such an important part. I don't understand all of it. I don't think as human being alive does. The last undiscovered territory is not one of them planets out there, it's a human mind. There's a lot we don't understand. But definitely what we say to ourselves through auto-suggestion or what have you, and I know it works, like if it's something you truly desire. You know, I put a picture of a house I wanted when my wife and I long, see, almost 50 years ago. It was on the back of a Better Homes and Garden. It was an ad for Olympic paint. And she just liked it. It was the one that would sit in the woods and whatever, and it was cedar and so forth, and it was different. And so I simply took that out. It was a back advertising. I just tore the back off, put a thumbtack in it, and put it on the door where every morning when I opened up to get my shaving stuff out and all out of the little closet, I'd see that picture of that house. And so I wrote the Olympics thing and said, is that really a house or is that exist? They said, yeah, it really is. It's in Richmond, Virginia, a place called Brandon Mill. And within days, the bank president said, Don, there's an important seminar putting on the Federal Reserve. Said, I would like for you to go. I said, where is it? He said, Richmond, Virginia. I said, I'd be happy to go. And I took my wife and a camera. And we had the address and that sort of thing. We'll come back. But two things happened. I was working in a bank, but we listened to Robert Black. He was president of Federal Bank of Richmond. I remember it like it's today. And I was a young person, very young. And they passed out his credentials, showed where he went to school and so forth. And they had done our Rutgers Graduate School of Banking. And she looked at me and she said, that's where you ought to go. I had a degree from East Tennessee State in accounting, and I went to University of Virginia banking school. She said, that's where you ought to go. But to make a long story short, we had that address, and this was for, it wasn't no GPS, but we found it in leaving Richmond. And I actually talked to the guy that was the developer houses there, and he gave me his address and everything, and told me what the plans would be. And I sent him a check, and he sent me the plans, and I got the house built. And today, 2017, I'm still living in the same house. So I know, see, we think in pictures. If I'm talking to you and describing a meal and saying, you can just see that meal. If I'm talking about a wild salmon with poached potatoes and garlic, you see that in your mind. We think in pictures. So we have to learn to see what we want rather than what we don't want. But so many people, what do people on poverty think about? They think about poverty. And it sounds almost too simple to be true, but there's so much to it, because when it says without a vision my people perish, it means we have to simply learn to see where we want to be rather than where we are. We can do it on vacation. I mean, if we're planning a trip to, we've never been to Cape Canaveral or somewhere or another, we visualize it, but we also make plans. People plan months and longer to plan a vacation. They don't spend no time planning their life. They take one day at a time as it comes to them. But you know, even if you didn't know how to get to Cape Canaveral, you know enough to know it's south. That's part of your planning. And then you pick the best roads. And then you could change your plan, even if you come to, I remember once going to, and I had GPS. I went to Napoleon Hill's last son was 92, David Hill. They buried him with honors, and the family invited me to Arlington. They gave him full military honors. He was West Virginia's most decorated soldier. He retired from the Marines, and he's also in the Korean War. So I thought, I really need to go, and so I drove up there. And my wife had put in my car, in the GPS, and I cut off. I went, I knew that I'd go 81, 77. I'd been up that way, but I didn't know the cutoff into Arlington Cemetery. And I come to the street. It said, "Give me the motion cutoff." Street was blocked, repairing the water or something. So, which means I had to go to the next one, and it recalculated and got me there. But that's the same way with our plans. If we're going to Cape Canaveral and we come to a road, well, that road's blocked. Let's go back home. No, things don't always work out as you do. And if people sit and wait until they know all the steps to get there, they're never going to start. And that's what happened to people is, yeah, but what if this happened? What if this happened? What if this happened? And so they never start. Surely there's going to be roadblocks, but you can lead them. And it's like fear. You can let fear either motivate you or stop you, either one. But you get to choose. You can choose which one you want to do. Most people will just take the easy way out.